Rob asks, what type of training is best for mid-season cross country? Okay, our question from Rob. This is a good one because cross country was always my favorite time of year, both in high school and college. For 8 years, I basically lived for cross country. I absolutely loved the sport and just the entire season of summer training and then the cross country season in the fall. It's just one of my favorite times of year. Recently, I was just doing a long run here in the Denver area, and I came across a cross-country meet that was going on in Washoe Park, and it just brought back so many memories. So I love where this question's coming from. Okay, so what type of training is best for mid-season cross-country? Well, in the middle of the season, you're not going to have your mileage dip too much, so you're going to be maintaining some of that high mileage that you probably built to over the summer and at the very beginning of the season, so you're going to want to maintain that. The other thing that you're going to want to look for is simply variety. You're going to want to be doing a lot of different types of workouts throughout the cross-country season. That includes tempo runs and working at your anaerobic or lactate threshold. Other types of workouts that are really helpful are hill workouts, particularly for cross-country, where you're running on uneven terrain. You're probably running on courses that include a lot of hills. You're going to want to get to a good-sized hill and do some repetitions, 8 to 12 repetitions of, anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half of uphill running is what you want to do. When I was in college, we had, some classic workouts that we did every single year. We did 10 repetitions of a fairly steep hill, about 90 seconds each rep. And then we also did once or twice a year 5 repetitions of a hill that took about 2 minutes 45 to 3 minutes to get to the top of. So this was a very, very long hill. It wasn't quite as steep. You had a very long recovery since we ran back down to the bottom. I had an easy effort for our recovery. But those are phenomenal workouts that build strength, they build upper aerobic capacity, and they're really helpful. The other things that you're going to want to do, race-specific paces. So you're running cross-country. This probably, depending on, if you're in high school, college, Division I, Division III, you're probably running 5K, 8K, or 10K. So you're going to want to be doing a lot of work at your goal pace. It's also very important to be doing these kind of workouts on the surface that you're going to be running on. So, doing all these goal pace running on the track, it's actually a little bit easier than if you were out on a field or other kinds of grass or unstable surfaces that you're likely going to be racing on. So let's do some goal pace running on some of those surfaces, and that's going to really help you dial in the pace that you want to be running on race day. So, the other things that you're going to want to be doing, and these are true for, most races that you're training for, you're going to be doing regular strides, a session of 4 to 6 strides, 2 to 3 times a week. You're going to want to be doing a long run. For cross country, again, if you're in high school, a good long run is probably somewhere between 9 to 13 miles. You're not going to see a ton of high school runners running more than 13 miles, maybe 14 or 15. Division III cross country, where you're training for an 8-kilometer race, I would say the long run for them, for the varsity runners, is probably going to be somewhere between 15 and 20 miles. And then, of course, when you get to Division I, when you get to racing for 10K, your long run should probably be somewhere between 17 and 20 miles. So, in addition to that, you probably do want to be working at a pace faster than your goal pace. We did a lot of workouts in college where the pace was simply best effort. And so you ran the fastest that you could while still being able to maintain that pace throughout the duration of the workout. And we usually did roughly 5 miles of hard running during the workout because our race was 5 miles long. So that's a pretty good distance for college cross-country runners. And so, of course, the structure and how these workouts are patterned, and the mix of tempo to hills to goal pace to faster than goal pace, this is all going to change slightly as you go through your season, and it's going to change based on if you're let's say you run 35 minutes for 5 miles versus someone who runs 25 minutes for 5 miles. There's going to be different demands on those kinds of runners. So of course, it really depends on the type of runner, the ultimate distance that you're training for, whether that's 5K, 8K, or 10K, but they should all be in the mix.